a poet or a good poetry never dies. It's always relevant in the universe for all times.
You are not making the film merely for box office. This entire pursuit of art.
हम दिल दे चुके सनम और खामोशी, which didn't do well at the box office, still resonates with people. Still people come and say that is your best film. That fear always kills the artist in you.
There's a typical font that you've taken for writing Gangubai. And anyone who knows your journey would know that you must have spent a lot of time and thought.
You work with very talented people around you. They make your work easier and they take you to another level that you still talk about the fact that there is a font that worked on you and the poster had an impression on you.
What is the relevance of a body language for you as far as just coming out with well-defined characters on the big screen?
It's a very important part of a good actor. When an actor knows how to use the body and that conveys half of the things that he wants to say beyond words. Words and dialogue is the only way to express yourself now.
जो चाहती दुनिया है वो मुझसे नहीं होगा, जो चाहती दुनिया है वो मुझसे नहीं होगा, समझौता कोई ख्वाब के बदले नहीं होगा. I think this couplet perfectly sums up the enhanced artistic pursuit of Sanjay Leela Bhansali, whose latest film Gangubai Kathiawadi is winning hearts all across the world. Sir, huge pleasure to have you back with us on Varudangama.
Thank you for it.
And sir, as we were talking a short while back, you start the film with Ghalib. You also say that जिन्हें नाज है हिंद पे वो कहाँ है. You're obviously giving a homage to Guru Dutt and Sahil Ludhianvi. Sir, many a times of late we tend to hear these statements that be it poetry, be it writing, just try and simplify it so that आम लोगों के समझ में नहीं आएगा. But as you have proved that the film is being loved by everyone, do you feel that it's important that an artist should say what he wants to say, he or she wants to say, instead of really worrying about the fact that लोगों को ये समझ में आएगा कि नहीं आएगा?
Absolutely. That is why you're the director, that people come and see your film or they come and see your work, because you have the freedom to express yourself fully without limiting yourself with will people understand, what will happen to the box office, will the producer agree, will the distributor get rattled. I think work, if Ghalib's poetry is still relevant today and it's still sung by a lot of young people, if not too many, not the way it should be, but it's relevant today. And people are receptive to new things. We keep blocking ourselves by saying that the audience को समझ नहीं आएगा. Audience को उसकी essence समझ में आएगी. Audience जाके उसकी मेहनत करेगी खोजने की कि क्या बोला था, in case they don't understand the language. That participation of people of keeping that poetry alive 400 years, 300 years ago, is our job as artists to keep that culture alive, to keep that poetry alive, to keep those poets and what they said alive, because a good poet or a good poetry never dies. It's always relevant in the universe for all times. When Sahir Saab wrote Jinein Naaz Hai Hind Par Kahan Hai, which was shot in the brothels in Pyasa by Guru Dutt, which is one of the most beautiful songs ever shot by a director, according to me. Every time that song would come and I would see it on the screen, or even if I saw it out of context, just as a song, it would move me so much, because here was a sensitive poet like Sahil Ludhianvi who wrote such a strong line, Jinein Naaz Hai Hind Par Wo Kahan Hai. He explained the state of these women, and every time you hear it, your eyes well up if you sensitively want to hear it. And here was a director who shot it so delicately and fragilely that, it's one of the most important songs, and the song that I have watched the most in my life. As as a student of cinema, you keep watching important landmark songs or important landmark films or scenes by the great filmmakers. So this is somewhere keeping a tribute to those great people and keeping their legacy alive. And I hope more people go and maybe visit what Ghalib Saab wrote or what Sahir Saab wrote, and go deeper into what they've written and understand what they've written.
Of course. Sir, right now everyone is talking about the fact that with the sort of opening that the film has taken, that in a way Bollywood is being revived. A lot of people, they're extremely happy with the entire celebration that is going on. So I spoke to the restaurant guys at one of the theaters where I saw the film, and they were very happy. They were excitedly telling me that पूरे weekend पे बहुत लोग आए हैं. That's wonderful. But at the same time, when I finished the film, one thing that once again came to my mind, because we followed your work, phenomenal work, sir, that you are not making the film merely for box office, sir. This entire pursuit of art is extremely, extremely important for you. Why is it so important for you, sir?
But it has always been. I, as a child, always heard great musicians, great singers, be it on the radio, be it a record at the cousin's house. And I understood when my father trained me to listen to those things and to watch B. Shantaram and to watch Mughal Azam and to watch what an artist does to reach that art to more people, and that is why they come to the theatres. So I was shown Mughal Azam 18 times, especially for Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab's piece of Prem Jogan Ban Jaye and Ya Prem Katar. That I've seen for 18 times to see, and my father would explain to me, look Bade Ghulam Ali Khan Sahab at work, look at K. Asif Sahab at work, look at the two legends over there, Madhubala and Dilip Kumar. So art became a part of my thinking of pursuing art, and I lived in a chawl, in a room which had no color. The color, the minute you color it, the walls were so old and all the colors would vanish. It would just become a colorless wall. So for me as a child, my pursuit was, even while doing homework, of painting this wall, of finding art, of putting a frame, of doing something to make it come alive. And all that deprivation of not being able to afford art or witness it otherwise in my real life, except for hearing a song blaring from my uncle's record player from the second floor or from the mohalla that would play. That whole pursuit became very, very strong in my mind. I had to pursue right from Khamoshi. If you look at it, I have made a film where a lot of people said, "But what are you making? You're talking of hearing impaired parents who are jealous of the daughter because she is going out in the world and she's communicating, and one day she'll leave with the man she loves." But I still made it because I thought that is what I wanted to make. And I think it is a beautiful film. Years later, somebody makes it into a film called Coda, Made in the West. It's the same subject, 25 years later. So when you pursue art and you're honest to what you want to say rather than saying it because it will bring you so much money and it will bring you stars and it will bring you a box office, mathematics fall into place, then those are projects. Those will never resonate with people. Hum Dil De Chuke Sanam or Khamoshi, which didn't do well at the box office, still resonates with people. Still people come and say that is your best film. So to date, I feel that when you're honest about what you want to pursue and you are trained in listening to good music and trained to watch good cinema and trained in the Film Institute and meeting with filmmakers, then your artistic pursuit should be without conditions. It should not be conditional to what will happen to me as a filmmaker if this film doesn't do well or the next one doesn't do well. That fear always kills the artist in you. So when Savarya didn't do well at all at the box office, then I went to make Guzarish, in which Hrithik Roshan is on the bed without moving, where he's known for his dance or action or his great looks. But I was fearless about it. That's what I wanted to make at that point of time. Some said it was a harakiri. So I feel that today when I make Gangubai, it is again a heroine-oriented subject. It is in the brothel, a full-fledged film on a brothel. Will it work? Will it resonate with people? Yes, it will. And I feel that conviction with which you make your film, which is the most important. Budget तो आ जाता है, actors तो आ जाते हैं, पर आपका conviction कहाँ से आएगा? वो conviction चाहिए. Conviction के बगैर आप वो artist नहीं बन सकते जहाँ पे आप लोगों को कह सकते हो कि ये देखो ये भी एक art है और हमने सारे arts को assimilate करके एक cinema में हम लोगों ने उसको पेश किया है.
Absolutely. And sir, at the moment one sees the poster, say for example, Gangubai poster is here right now. There's a typical font that you've taken for writing Gangubai. And anyone who knows your journey would know that you must have spent a lot of time and thought in even selecting that particular font.
No.
You did not?
No. It is Rahul Nanda who designed my posters. And
Right.
the first day he came, what was with this font? He says, I said, get me the design. And he got this one and this one as the first. These were all look tests. They were not even photo shoots done for the film or anything. It was look tests that first time she was getting ready to see how the costumes look. So we photographed.
Right.
And we gave it to him and he came with this font and after that it has not changed. And there were no other options I asked for. I knew he hit the bullseye. So when you work with very talented people around you, they make your work easier and they take you to another level that you still talk about the fact that there is a font that worked on you and the poster had an impression on you.
Yeah.
So it is basically Rahul Nanda's genius that makes it.
So there's a very typical body language, and especially in certain portions, which is amazing as far as Alia's character is concerned. Even say Razia, for example, Vijay Raz's character, I think the body language is very, very marked. What is the relevance of a body language for you as far as just coming out with well-defined characters on the big screen?
Right now, your body language is also expressing a lot of what you are. The way you use your hands, the way you use your legs, the way you use your smile, the way you use everything. So everything is about, finally, when you speak, the body reacts to it. My body is reacting as I'm speaking to you. And the body language that they assume, for example, Alia, who suddenly walks like a brothel madam and talks like a brothel madam and stands like a girl who's defined before she became the madam, or the way Razia floats in the air with or walks from the stage to sit on the chair down. It's a very important part of a good actor. When an actor knows how to use the body, and that conveys half of the things that he wants to say beyond words. Words and dialogue is the only way to express yourself. No. How does an actor reach it? Through the eyes. Alia has spoken through the eyes in the whole film. It's about the eyes that are reaching out, vulnerable sometimes, shining sometimes, manipulating sometimes, angry sometimes. Look at the use of Ajay Devgan's eyes.
Yeah.
He's just a powerhouse of just not having to say something, but the way he uses his glasses or the way he stands by the car. Such a powerful man. These are all important aspects of finally creating Lala, or creating Gangubai, or creating Razia, or see Seema Powers, or see the girls in the film. They were all spectacular because they were actors who knew that the body, in this particular case especially, where they have to stand by the cages in a certain way, much against their wishes, or she has to now change her body language as she meets the school principal to put up a fight against them. It's how the body is used, how the eyes are used. And these all come to the actors who are good naturally when they read a good scene and they know that this scene has a potential to express so much more. तो वो करते हैं अपने आप. Or of course I'm there when I'm doing the readings, when I'm telling them what was in my mind, they're watching me. And they know what is happening to my eyes, what is happening. Then they go and interpret their own way, and they have the freedom to then perform their own way. So it's about a give and take, the chemistry of what is the director trying to say. Her drunk scene in the lane, alone, when she is shouting at the people in the mohalla alone in the night. I don't know if you remember that scene.
Of course.
It's such a great moment for me as what an actor did. I said 2 takes. I said, no, Ale, there's something not missing. I'm still finding that anger of all that you've gone through in a drunken state. You have to express it. And then she went for it. And then I didn't say cut. I went on this. That shot is another 1 minute long for the actual footage that we've shot. But then that is what. Look at the body language in it. Look at the intoxicated movement of the body, and yet the anger flowing out. So these are all magic moments when an actor finds his body. And hands, very difficult to use hands. What to do with the hands sometimes, and with the eyes, and with the face, and everything. The whole body has to perform.
Of course.